Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Magic, the flagship podcast of 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, where we bring you the magic of Disney and Universal on a weekly basis. This is your all-access pass to the stories, tips, and inspiration that bring Disney and Universal vacations to life. So, without further ado, let's go back to the magic. I'm Rick, one of your hosts, and I'm joined, as always, with my beautiful co-host, Gina. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm excited for the topic we have today.
This episode is all Rick, if anyone is wondering. Rick came up with this one. We are talking about things around Walt Disney World that need updating.
Yeah.
Now, there was a little bit of confusion because this episode is all Rick. So we're in the car and Rick comes up with this episode and I go, oh, okay, can we do shows too, or are we just doing rides? And he goes, just rides.
I don't remember this happening.
I was like, okay, yeah, I can do just rides. And then we just kind of double checked our list a little bit. We didn't like go into detail, but like to make sure we didn't have any crossovers.
Yeah.
And Rick had things that weren't rides, one of which was the show that made me wonder if we could do shows. And he's swearing up and down that he never said
I don't remember that happening. I could have sworn I said anything. Rides, attractions, restaurants, everything.
No, he was like, just rides. And I was like, all right, yeah, I can come up with just rides.
So today we're talking about things in Disney that need upgrades.
Yeah, so I added one more thing to my list, took something off, and now I have
Yeah.
something that's not a ride on my list. But yeah, it was a little bit of confusion, but it's all right. We got there. But because of that confusion, I did ask the listeners what rides they think need updating. So at the end of the episode, if we have time, we're going to go over what they said. That is strictly rides, because that's the impression I thought this episode was supposed to be. I was wrong.
Yeah, just a little mistake, nothing crazy. We'll get it on track.
It happens. But before we go into that, I want to share one. It's not really like an update or an upgrade, but in 2026, Disney is updating. I guess it is updated. My brain just used that word.
It is updated.
They are changing Soarin' for the 250th birthday of the United States. Soarin' is going to be soaring over the United States, soaring over America, and it's going to start in summer of 2026 to celebrate 250 years.
Very exciting.
I'm excited about this. I've seen some mixed reactions online, but I have to say, first of all, if you've been to Disney a million times, you've seen Soarin' a million times. You know what it is.
Yeah.
People miss Soarin' over California all the time when it's not there. And
Yeah.
in California, they switch between California and the over the world, so why not throw in America too? Because it's going to be in California and in Florida, both to celebrate 250 years. And I think America has some beautiful landscapes and beautiful areas that I'm sure Disney is going to showcase, and it's going to be a amazing ride.
Yeah, definitely. I understand why people might be upset, because you do see a lot of really cool places in the regular Soarin' ride, but you also have to remember that America is big
And gorgeous.
There's a lot of places that people don't get to in their lifetime.
Yeah.
And it's in the United States. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of places that are going to be, I'm not going to say just as beautiful, but like there's plenty of beautiful places. I mean, we have the Grand Canyon, which I believe is already there. Is that the Grand Canyon that they do, or is that somewhere in
No.
Arizona?
There's nothing like that on
What's
Soarin'.
the orange place that they go to?
The orange place.
Yeah, it's like orange rocks, and then the bird swoops in, and it's like, and then it...
Oh, actually, I don't know.
I don't know where that is. Anyway,
Yeah, half
there's
the
a lot
time
of
I don't
cool
even know
places.
where we're going.
A lot of cool places in the United States to go. Very excited to see what they do with it. It's Disney. They're gonna do it good.
Do we think they're
Do
going to
it well.
use... Do you think they're going to use the Soarin' music, or do you think they're going to use America the Beautiful?
Soarin' music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah, I think Soarin' music.
I think so too. It probably would cost
Yeah.
too much money to use America the Beautiful.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, so I think this is going to be a pretty cool update that's coming in 2026. They didn't say if it's going to be just for the summer to celebrate 250. They didn't say if it's going to be for the foreseeable future. I'm excited to hear what the timeline is, if this is the new change, or if they're going to kind of switch them out the way they do in California between Soarin' over the world and Soarin' over California.
Yeah, I imagine it's not going to be a long-term change. I can't imagine that they would switch just to America, but I'm not in Imagineering, so...
No, but also, like, Soarin' over the world was filmed so long ago that, like, this is probably going to be very...
Speaking of things that need an upgrade.
The quality of it is probably going to be drastically different.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I think it's going to be one of those things that you don't realize the quality of Soarin' until you do the Soarin' over America. Then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, wow, this is, like,
Yeah.
crazy. It'll be interesting to see that quality difference.
Yeah.
If there is one, maybe the screen plays more of a factor than I would think, but like I would think the camera would play most of the factor.
Guess we'll see. I'm excited.
Guess we'll find out. Summer 2026.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many do you have for things that need updates?
4.
I have 3.
Okay.
So how about you go first then, and then you go first and last?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll start with the one that's on everybody's mind, the one that you would have picked if you had listened to me about doing more than just rides.
Oh, I remember the other thing I wanted to clarify. The other thing I wanted to clarify was as I said, rides and shows, just rides, and he said just rides. And then the other thing was I said, okay, are we talking rethemes or upgrades? And you clarified strictly upgrades. It's not, okay,
Yeah, it's
I
not
want to
just-
see this become that.
Yeah.
It's, I wanted to see this get better.
Yeah, it's not, I want to see the 3 Caballeros be something Coco. It's, this ride is old, the ride mechanism needs to be changed, whatever. Just some sort of upgrade that it can be made. And yeah. So the first one, like I said, I mean, it's a pretty obvious one in my opinion. I think there's probably some Instagram comments if I had to guess. There would be if we did attractions as well. But I'm talking about the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yes. Epic
It's just
stunt spectacular.
yeah, it's outdated at this point. They've actually taken stuff away from it, which in my opinion is a downgrade, not an upgrade. So I think they could do well by one, either bringing back the old pyrotechnics and movie set things that they did and stunts that they did, including the guests again. I thought that was really cool how they used to do that. I'm not saying that it needs to be exactly that. There could be other forms of upgrades that could happen to this. And there's also other Indiana Jones movies out now, so you can also incorporate other storylines into it.
Yeah, the hard thing with this one is if we were talking rethemes, I would say retheme it.
Yeah,
I don't think
100%,
that enough people
100%.
know Indiana Jones anymore, and they're also putting Indiana Jones in Dinerland.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking upgrades, I agree. There is upgrades to be made, and there is a lot of Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford likes to cash in. Like,
Yeah.
there are plenty for them to work with that they could do more. I actually never realized, I'm not really an Indiana Jones person. Like, it's not like I didn't grow up with it,
Yeah.
you know? And I watched it recently. And I've watched the show in Hollywood Studios a million times, I feel like. And I was like, oh my God, the show is literally like scene for scene with
Yeah.
this movie,
Yeah,
with
it
the
is.
first movie.
Yep.
And I thought it was kind of like a mix of a bunch of the movies. So
You know,
I get what
just-
you're
yeah.
saying. They could kind of work in other scenes from other movies
Yeah.
and really make that work for it. And with technology now, they could do so much with it too.
Yeah, like I get the idea of wanting to have a cohesive story to the show and doing it, like you said, based off of the first movie. I can't keep track. I think there's like at least 5 Indiana Jones at this point. You could do something so good, just like first however much of the show is the first movie, and then you progress into the second movie, like stuff like that. Because there's so many stunts and things that are done throughout the Indiana Jones movies that's more than just him running away from a boulder, which obviously that's like the most iconic one at this point, I feel like.
yeah.
But you can include other stuff. And like I said, they took away a lot of the pyrotechnics, a lot of the stuff that involved the guests and the crowd. And honestly, just adding all of this stuff back would be enough of an upgrade for me.
I feel like a lot of the pyrotechnics are still there. But the crowd work, I feel like, is huge. Like having the
Yeah, I feel like
participants from the crowd.
I feel like they cut some scenes though.
Yeah, they might have. The whole thing
Or it
was-
just feels like it because of how involved the crowd was before.
Yeah, maybe. The whole thing just feels lackluster to me compared to what it used to be. So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, there is also some sort of excitement that comes with potentially being chosen to be a part of the
Yeah.
show. So like maybe it was just like one of those things when we were there before. I had this idea of it being so much better in my head because it was like, oh, maybe I'll be a part of it.
Yeah.
And now it's like there's no chance of being a part of it, so it's kind of just there.
I don't even
now.
want to go to it. If I
Yeah.
can't play, I'm not going.
Exactly.
I'm not competing if I'm not going to win.
But yeah, I think this one could definitely use an upgrade. I don't think it's as popular as it used to be. I don't see many people racing to get to the show unless it's a crowded day. So I think it could definitely use an upgrade, and I think it would be good for it.
The theater could use a little bit of an upgrade too. It can get pretty hot in there.
Yeah, definitely.
If they could kind of work it maybe to get bigger fans, some
Yeah.
air blowing through, make it a little cooler in there. It's shaded, but
Yeah.
it is still outside in Florida heat.
But yeah, that's the first one.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's the one that I was wondering about. So
Yeah, I think when you say rides and attractions that need to get an upgrade, most people within the top 5 of their picks will probably get to Indiana Jones.
Well, it's not rides and attractions either, because then you told me pick anything. So one of mine is actually a restaurant.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm
just
like,
saying.
let me make sure that
No, I was just saying, like, if you were going just based rides and attractions, I think
and shows
within
people...
5 options, everyone's going to get to Indiana Jones at some point.
It actually makes me kind of sad how many things I thought of that it could be the right answer for this that were in Hollywood Studios. Because Hollywood Studios is my favorite park. Mm-hmm. And I love it so much. Yeah. But I think part of the reason I love it is the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which is then also part of the things that need to be updated.
Yeah, because you have the nostalgia and objectively looking at it, you're like, this is kind of lame.
So that actually kind of brings me to my point on what mine are.
Okay.
So 2 of mine actually fall in my top... No, I think they're my top 2 favorite rides in Disney are actually on my list, which I think is really funny.
That is funny.
I had to reset my brain on how I was thinking about this episode. So I was like, okay, what do I want to be updated?
Yeah.
And I'm going through, and I realized how much of Disney I love from the nostalgia of it. Whether that nostalgia is because I have memories of it from when I was 6 or because I have memories of it from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
Just the memories that you get from Disney and wanting to like relive that moment while still having new experiences doing other things. Mm-hmm. So I had to kind of rethink it of like, not what do I want to be updated, what could benefit from an update.
Yeah.
So... the first thing I'm going to say, don't turn off the podcast. Tower of Terror. One of, if not my favorite ride at Walt Disney World. I don't want to see it updated.
Not Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Keep it Tower of Terror.
Please don't make it Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's a retheme. That's not an update. That's a retheme. I don't want to see it updated. But the Tower of Terror could benefit from an update.
Yeah.
So the ghost scene that when you're going up in the elevator shaft, really good. Especially considering, I'm sure it's been updated here and there, but like roughly it's from 94.
The one where you see the 5 people that...
Yes,
okay.
And then the window shatters, which that I know has been updated recently. Yeah, it's not as loud, it's a little bit clearer. Yeah, like that has been updated. But that scene, fantastic, does not need an update. The lobby, fantastic, does not need an update. The queue, could use some more fans, maybe a little bit more shade, but all in all, like... that would be the most I would update out there is put some more shade out in the garden area. Yeah. And maybe like some of the spritzer fans or something.
Definitely the queue for sure.
Yeah. The room that I want to see updated is actually the room where when your elevator goes up and then it starts to go forward.
Yeah, that one
entering into the Twilight Zone. Yeah. And then you enter into the elevator shaft. So that room that's like the crossover.
Mm-hmm, where you pass the big eye.
The big eye, yes. And so it's like E equals MC squared. Like, it has all the Twilight Zone things. That is the room I think could benefit from an upgrade. Again, that I think could benefit from an update. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't want to see it. I like the nostalgia of it. I like how 1994 it looks. But going through it, like, they could do so much better with it now. That room would look completely different if it was made now. This is over 30 years ago that this was made. Yeah,
no, and I get what you're saying. And they could definitely upgrade it or update it without changing that, like, what's in the room, just making it today's technology standards.
Yeah, and honestly, like, some of it could benefit from being changed. That room could be totally, like, rethemed and still be...
Yeah, I think it kind of takes away from the Twilight Zone part of it if you take away that stuff.
Because some might argue that you're already in the Twilight Zone before you get to that room because you've seen the ghost and everything.
Yeah.
So, like, what if it was, like, redone and upgraded and it became kind of like a hallway and you're like going through the hotel to a different shaft and then you drop, or they could do like a hallway themed Twilight Zone themed hallway. I don't know, I just think that there is a technology. The part that makes me laugh the most about it is when you look at the giant eyeball, there's a picture on it of people like that are on the ride. Those people look like they are from the 90s.
Yeah, they were like, definitely like the first people to ride the ride.
It looks like a family photo shoot when everyone wore the white t-shirts and the denim jeans. Like, that is what it looks like. on the eye. And something that like I think if they were doing that technology now, something similar to that, they probably would put like the picture of the people
Yeah,
who
like,
are currently on the
like
ride.
as you're loading, they would take a
Like
picture of
snap
you or
your
something.
photo. Yeah, like there is different technology.
And that would be really cool.
That would be so cool, right? There is just so much more advanced technology now with the magic bands too. Like they could do different things with your name and stuff, as like through the Twilight Zone. Like they could do so much with that room, and I want to see nothing else change except maybe the spritzer fans in the garden area and a little bit more shade.
I feel like the one of the things that came to mind for me before you started describing everything was just airflow.
Yeah.
Because like even in the elevator shaft on the ride, the air gets a little stale.
Yeah.
So like even if there was just like a little bit of AC pumping in, or like just fans even to get the air like moving again.
I don't know. I kind of like the stale part on the ride. It kind of to me gives that like eerie. It's supposed to be in the 30s.
Yeah,
I
guess. I guess
there wouldn't have been air in there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's one of the ones where like I feel like what happened with Tower of Terror in California started out with a conversation like this where they were like, how can we make it better?
Gateway conversation.
They were like, you know what? What if we just changed it entirely?
Maybe. It honestly could be. And like other ones don't have that room. California doesn't have that room. Paris does not have that room. That's pretty exclusive to Walt Disney World from as far as the 3 different ones that we've been to. We haven't been to the ones in Asia, but as far as the ones that we've been to, Walt Disney World's the only one that has that room. And I don't want to see it change.
I don't either.
I don't. I like that it is totally 90s. I really do. But if I'm being realistic about what ride could benefit and where I think if they change it, I would go, yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's that room on Tower of Terror.
That's fair.
But again, I want to see the dummy at the end. I don't want the theming to change. I want it to stay as it is. Just change that room.
Makes sense.
All right, go ahead. What's your next one?
All right, so my next one is actually a whole park. I think...
See, this is...
hear me out. So I think Animal Kingdom needs an upgrade. And what I mean by this is there is like one ride at this point that small children and pregnant women can ride.
Okay.
That's not the train to Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Yeah.
I think they just need more kid-friendly rides. Because if you think about the park, like the only thing that little kids can do at this point is the Navi River journey.
Yep.
And then they can go around and learn, obviously, which is great. They can go around
safari.
and learn about all the animals, the safari, stuff like that. But it's a whole park, and they already have this trope going around of it being a half-day park. And I just feel like, especially if you have really little kids with you, or you are pregnant and you can't ride anything, and it is a half-day park at that point. It was a little better when Dino Land was there because they had the Triceratops spin, and they had the other thing that was there for the longest time. I forget what it was called, though. The like cat and mouse roller coaster that they had. But I feel like they just keep taking away the options for small children to be able to do stuff there. And I'm hoping that when they get to what are they calling it? The Tropical Americas area. I'm hoping that they add more stuff back in. But right now, it's just the river journey and the safari little kids can do as well. And then besides that, it's like play areas and stuff like that. I just feel like it needs more.
They have shows.
They do have shows, but like people like rides.
Yeah.
And when you think about an amusement park, especially like Disney, you're like, what rides are there? You're not like, oh, what shows did you go see?
Yeah.
People ask you what you rode, not what you saw.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like they would do well having more rides for young children.
So I agree with you. They did lose a lot when they got rid of Dino Land. They lost the dig site as well recently. Then they lost the 2 rides, like you said. With the Tropical Americas opening, they are going to be getting 2 new rides, at least 2 that we know of so far. There's going to be a carousel type ride, and there's going to be a boat ride.
Another boat ride, great.
Another boat ride. This one's with Encanto, so I think they're kind of banking on that. There is the shows. There is a lot of the educational stuff. Something I think Animal Kingdom has going for it for kids that a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of character stops, which is really nice. And then, like we said, the shows, the learning. I agree with you, though. There is space that they could throw in 1 or 2 more kid-centric things. And I think people will be very happy about it. Even more than 1 or 2, but like at least 1 or 2. And I think people would be very happy about it. So I get what you're saying, and I could agree with you.
Yeah. And like, if I had to zone in on like one specific thing, like if I'm pitching to Disney an upgrade or an update that they could make, almost like they did with Toy Story Land. And I get that it's a little outdated at this point, but how cool would like a Bug's Life area be for kids where like you're the size of a bug and there's these giant plants and then there's like a roller coaster, like a kid's roller coaster that's like, what's his name? Flynn? Is that his name?
Flint.
Not Flynn. Flint. There's like a Flint roller coaster. Flick roller coaster, kind of like the Slinky Dog roller coaster, something like that. You know, just like,
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. And I think it would benefit the park a lot. Cause I think right now there's a lot of stuff where people they kind of count out Animal Kingdom. Like if you're going for 3 park days, you're like, well, Animal Kingdom's not really a full day anyway, so let me just not go there. So I think
I'll just go there in the morning and then I'll head somewhere else later at night. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it could do with an upgrade.
Okay.
And that's my logic behind it. I understand that it's a whole park, but
I don't know if I fully agree with you, but I get what you're saying. You can see where you're coming from. I don't think it needs one as bad as you think it needs one, but I could see where adding a few more things here and there could be very beneficial for it.
Yeah, I'm not saying they need to add like 4 things in every area of the park. Just like a little bit. Because like, especially with Dino Land closing, like you don't have the Boneyard, you don't have Triceratops Spin. Like there's less and less things I feel like for kids. And like you said, Tropical Americas, they're adding more stuff in, but I don't know. I always feel like there's not enough for kids to do there.
Yeah,
ride-wise.
They also just closed, not just closed. They'll be opening soon. The new Zootopia Better Together, but with them closing the Bugs Life show, like that took away something for kids too. Like now is not a great time for kids. Or pregnant women, like you said. At Animal Kingdom, this is not the time to be there.
No,
it does get pretty hard for them. So yeah, I can see what you're saying. I think in a few months. I was going to say a few years, but I'm going to say a few months. I'd like to circle back to this conversation.
I was going to say, let's check back in.
Your opinion changes.
Let's check back in when Tropical Americas opens.
And Zootopia will be open.
Yeah. And I might have a different opinion, but at the moment, it's due up for an upgrade in my opinion. And I think Tropical Americas is a good start.
Okay. All right. Do you want my restaurant or my other ride?
Let's go restaurant.
They're both kind of hot takes, I'm not going to lie.
I'm excited to hear the restaurant one because I was trying to think of restaurants and I couldn't think of any.
So it's kind of a hot take because this restaurant is really new.
Okay.
Space 220 needs an update.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get the hype that it got. I think it was fake hype. I really do.
So much potential for that whole thing. And the only cool part was the elevator going up to the restaurant.
Yes, the elevator does not need to be updated. So if you don't know, Space 220 is a space-themed restaurant that opened in Epcot, I believe, 2020 or 2021.
Was it that long ago?
It might have got pushed back with COVID, but it opened roughly around that time. And when it opened, it was this huge deal. So the idea of the restaurant is you go in, you take an elevator up to space. You literally like leave Epcot and go to space, and you're eating lunch or dinner in space.
Yeah.
There are these giant windows that look out to space. You can see Earth from your table.
Yep.
And that's it. Okay. It had a lot of potential. We went, first of all, it takes a really long time, and it was a really long meal. Yeah. I know that's not the case for everyone. Our meal ended up being like 2 hours.
Yeah, it took a while.
For 8 of us to eat, which is really crazy. Like just the food took a while, the service was slow, and when you're in a theme park, I don't feel like that's ideal. Personally.
Notably, we weren't there like when it first opened, but it was still relatively new when we got there.
2023.
I feel like it was only open for like a year when we went.
Space 220 opened September 20th, 2021.
Okay, never mind.
Should have been open for 2 years at that point when we went.
Felt like it was pretty new.
I mean, that's still new in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I just feel like they missed the mark with it, personally. I think the elevator is really cool, and it does make you feel like you're shooting off into space. And then you get there, and you see Earth, and a little astronaut comes by once in a while, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's this giant screen that simulates Earth that they could have done so much with, that I think that they had the technology then, and I think they have the technology now to update it and make some cool stuff happen on that screen to make your meal more interactive, more enjoyable, and more... I'm going to go back to the word interactive, actually. I should have just stuck with that word. More interactive, like more going on to make you feel like you are in space and there's more to see than just Earth. Because it kind of just looks like a picture of Earth with occasional movement here and there. The tables, real simple, real boring, real... this time, which is upsetting because
Yeah.
if they would have made this restaurant like in the 90s, those tables would have each been their own command center,
Yeah.
and it would have been a full on for kids
Yeah.
who are want to be astronauts and they're going to this restaurant, they're sitting there, they have a command center, then maybe the buttons don't actually work, but it just makes them think that it does, and like
Yeah.
it could have been so cool. And it's just these like table, like what are they, like black and gray tables?
It's like a sleek design.
Yeah, like it's not.
Yeah, no, I completely
it's
agree.
shiny.
I am one of those people who's infatuated with the idea of space, and I would love to go there someday. And I was so disappointed when we got up into this restaurant.
You're the kids I'm talking about.
Honestly,
that
yeah,
loved that.
yeah. Like, and I have so many complaints about just the restaurant itself, the food, the tables, the decor, everything like that. They could have saved it for me by just making the screen move.
Yeah.
Like making it so that it's like you're in, say, the International Space Station, or you're just like in a space station and you're floating around space and you're seeing other planets and you're seeing other stars and you're seeing all these things. Instead, you're just stationary looking at the Earth. And it's just like there's so much potential there. And I really do think that with a moving screen and making it look like you're traveling through space, I think would make it a million times better.
I kind of feel like they went too fancy with it.
I think they tried
to keep it too classy, and it's in a theme park. It's a themed restaurant in a theme park.
Yeah.
I wanted to see something more, and I wanted that like intense in your face theming, and that's the update I want to see from it. I want them to say, you know what, we didn't do enough, and reset. And not make it so fancy. They have a lounge area. They can keep the lounge area a little classier, a little more high end. But the restaurant itself, make it family friendly.
Yeah.
Make it so that kids feel like they are astronauts up at the space station. And they're looking at Earth and they're seeing... Like, why isn't Wall-E going past?
Yeah, something.
I'm not saying you always have to incorporate Disney IP. But, like, that would have been a good spot to have done it.
Great spot for it, yeah.
A great spot. Or, like, just... have spaceships go past once in a while.
Yeah.
Just have things go, like you said, maybe some planets, maybe some stars. Have things happen. Make it so we can see the fireworks coming from Magic Kingdom off of Earth. Like, you know, just little things like that. That it's an update I think would be a really well done update.
Yeah, you opened up a can of worms with this one.
Sorry.
Because this one really bothers me.
I know it does.
I have to
Let me
ask
tell you
this,
something
though.
we're passionate
I have to ask
about.
you this, though. If you're on a space station, how do you expect the doors to open? Do you expect to have just a handle and you pull the door? Because I don't. I
No, it
expect to
should
walk
slide.
up and like press a button and it like slides open. The bathrooms bothered me. They did.
You just wanted more theming.
For some reason, I was like, the bathrooms are going to save this restaurant for me. I'm going to walk in. It's going to feel like I'm in a space bathroom, and it didn't. It felt like I was just in a random Disney Springs bathroom.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Sorry.
But the
I'm very
signs,
passionate about how bad Space 220 is.
the signs for the bathroom were like astronaut signs.
Yeah, that was it.
Like the little baby changing area was like a baby astronaut. But no, I agree. If they're gonna say how themed this place is gonna be, you do expect it to be like that. I want that in your face, like early 2000s, late 90s theming of like.
I wanted to feel like I was in the Jetsons.
Yes.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's coming from me, who always says that Epcot needs to upgrade everything and make it feel like you're in the future. This is
the future.
This is one instance where I would have appreciated them not doing that, because I feel like that's what they were going for, like the sleek blacks and grays and.
No, I want the
this is what
cliche
future's
future.
gonna feel like. Yeah, exactly.
I want cliche future.
I would have appreciated that for this one. We gotta stop talking about this because I'm getting all worked up.
But those are the updates that we would like to see. Okay. Go ahead, give me your next one. We got 3 more to do.
We're not going far for my next one. We're actually just going basically right next door. I think Mission Space needs an upgrade.
Just the technology of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the ride system doesn't need to change, because I get like why it is
How
that.
it works.
Yeah, like I get why it is that. It makes sense why it is that. It's fine. The screen when you're in space, the control panel that comes down in front of you, I think all of that could just be updated and upgraded to make look more modern, I think.
Okay. I'm curious because they worked with astronauts to make that. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious on if it's been updated by astronauts, or are they still using systems that look similar to what that is? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if spaceships today look different than they did
than
back
they
then,
did
you're
then,
saying? Yeah,
or is this still pretty similar? And actually, it is pretty up to date. I'd be curious to know that before changes were made.
I would as well, and even if that is up to date and like that is what spaceships still look like, I don't know. I've never been in a spaceship. I'm not Katy Perry. Anyway, I would like to at least see the screens change because the quality of the picture is just not good.
I wonder if the screen changing would make people more sick or less sick.
I don't know.
If it was clearer.
I don't think it's the picture that does it for people, is it?
It depends. It's the spinning mixed with the screens.
Okay.
Because the way that the ride works, if anyone's ever been on like the Gravitron where it spins really, really fast.
That's what it does.
That's what it's doing. So you're spinning really, really fast.
Mm. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it would. I'm not sure, but I think you could do better.
Okay. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah. It's a little one. It's not anything big. I'm not super passionate about it, but I would like to see it upgraded.
Well, also, if you think about what that area looks like now with Guardians of the Galaxy, Test Track, Space 220, it's all futuristic.
Yeah.
So they could make it look maybe a little less realistic if they made it futuristic.
Yeah.
Because everything else in that little alleyway is futuristic at this point. Yeah. So I agree. They could update that.
Yeah.
It could benefit from it.
I think so.
I don't think it's like Tower of Terror. It doesn't need to be done, but like it could benefit from it.
Yeah, I think it would benefit from it.
The screens probably need to be done.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I like that one though.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you got one more for us?
This is my last one.
Okay.
This is kind of a cop-out.
Oh, man.
It's not, because I like my logic, but I don't know if the listeners or you are going to like my logic.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right. We're going back to Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Another ride. Another one of my top 5, I think, top 2 rides. Toy Story Mania.
I got to hear the logic on this one.
So Toy Story Mania, where I think it can be updated. I think that we now have the technology that Toy Story Mania could change with the seasons. So at least with the holiday season, I think they could do overlays for things, and that we probably have the technology to make it happen so they can make the games Christmas themed if they wanted, or Hanukkah themed, and just different holiday themes. And again, my logic on these was not, I want these to happen. It's just, that could be kind of cool, or it could benefit from it. I think that could be kind of cool. They updated the one in Disneyland for the 70th, and all the Targets had 70s on them. Or not all of them, and some of them. And it changed what they were worth.
Okay.
Or like 100 was now worth 700, like that kind of thing.
Okay, so are you saying that you want a whole different room? Or like, for example, the room with the volcano is now a ski mountain, and you're shooting icicles instead of lava?
Yes, that.
Okay.
It is only
so not like changing the whole concept
update the
of
whole
the
ride.
room.
But at the holidays, why not update the technology to make and update the videos?
The barn scene has a reindeer instead of a donkey.
The barn is decorated for Christmas, and there's those little red trucks with the trees that everybody loves. Like, in the scene, like just Christmas and holidays could be really worked in. Realistically, you could probably do Halloween as well and make it a little spookier if you wanted. Yeah. I don't know if that would be as much of a hit as doing the holidays would be. And the holidays you can get like 2 months out of if you did like November and December they went through. And I think that it would work really well because Toy Story Land gets decorated really nicely for Christmas.
It looks really nice.
It looks really nice. So I think it would carry into that nicely. And again, I just think that it might be a little expensive for them, but like they have the technology now to make it happen. And I can't imagine once it was made how much it would cost to implement it. But it would be pretty cool to see some overlays go into rides and not just around the parks.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. When you first said it, I was like, "That's
where are you going with this?"
But I do agree because I have always thought that there is not enough ride overlays for the holidays. Yeah. Not even just the Christmas season, like Halloween and 4th of July. Like not necessarily 4th of July, but like Halloween, Valentine's Day. Like there could be more done, especially like Halloween and Christmas. Like there's other rides that do it. Haunted Mansion out in California does the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. I'm not saying I want that. I'm not the biggest fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, but like it's a starting point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And there are also 2 sides of Toy Story Mania. When you go in, you can go to 2 different areas. Yeah. So if they really were worried about people not wanting it, they could say like, this is the holiday side, this is the regular side if you wanted the classic ride.
Yeah.
Or you could get that updated version for the holidays.
Yeah, I don't know if they would really have any complaints because you could work in all the winter holidays. Into
Yeah,
the
I
ride.
think they could too. They could really, because with all of the rooms they have, they could really do a lot with it.
Yeah,
So that's my thought on it.
that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty new, but
Again, not as new as Space 220. Again, it doesn't need to be done.
Yeah.
But I like the
Just an
nostalgia,
idea.
so I struggled with this episode a lot. But
Yeah.
that was one where I was like, wait, this could actually be kind of cool if they ever did an update on it.
Uh-huh.
If they ever updated the technology so that they could switch this in when they wanted to.
yeah, that's fair.
Or they could do it like Tower of Terror. It's not Tower of Terror. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in Disneyland at Halloween. After like 3 o'clock, it becomes Monsters After Dark.
Yeah.
They could do holidays every day after 3 o'clock.
Yeah, they could.
Before that is regular. Maybe they can't. I don't know. I don't know how their technology works, but maybe they could.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Okay, what's your last one?
Okay, so this one is a very specific upgrade that I need done.
Need.
Need.
No, we're not
I do.
wanting anymore. We're needing.
It's a need. So the last ride that I have that I need an upgrade done on is Tomorrowland Speedway. I love most things about this ride. The one thing that needs to be updated and upgraded is I need a bigger seat.
What do you mean?
My legs don't fit in that car anymore.
That sounds like you need a bigger car, not a bigger seat.
Yeah, that's what I mean though.
Like a longer
Like I need
car.
like more space for my legs to go because I sit there with my knees like in my chest while I'm driving. They just need to have bigger cars. I guess you want the kids to be able to drive. That's great.
I was gonna say,
but
it's
I
because
also
kids.
want to go drive by myself sometimes. And my knees are in my chest. Don't change anything else. I love the smell of the cars. I love that they're the old cars. I love that they have the little bumpers on the front of them. I love the track that you go around. I love it all, except for the fact that my knees are in my chest the whole time. And if I get in an accident, it's not going to end well for me.
If you get in an accident, what do you think? There is a no bumping rule for a reason.
Yeah, because everyone follows the no bumping rule.
That's hilarious. I see what you're saying. So maybe they could make a line that's like, you go this way if you're over 6 feet and driving.
Yeah. Yeah, like if your kid is driving, you go this way. If you're driving, you go this way.
Adults, children.
They already have it set up that way, where you split.
Yeah.
When you get up there. So just make
So you're
one
saying-
side for where the kids are driving and make the other side for where the kids are not driving. It doesn't even have to be like just adults. Like if an adult is driving with a kid next to them, they go to that side, you know?
Yeah. Or if an adult, or they could say to adults, if you're walking up and they're like, oh, you're tall, you got long legs, whatever, they can say, hey, if you want to go to that one, go that way.
Yeah.
Or do you want to go to the taller side? Yes, please. Cool.
Yeah. I think it could be implemented. I don't know.
So we got some bigger cars over there for you tall men and women.
Anyone who's even slightly tall listening right now agrees with me, I guarantee it.
I'm trying to think, because, so I'm taller for a lady, but like I'm all torso. I got short legs. I'm fine. I look real tall when I'm sitting down though.
Yeah.
But no, I'm fine. I think, am I? Trying to think about when I get out, my knees hit, but not when not when I'm sitting there riding.
But your knees are bent while you're driving, right?
Yeah.
They're not straight.
They're not straight. I'm not a 4-year-old.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like you have shorter legs. You're more torso.
Yeah.
Now imagine someone who has mostly legs or
Oh,
is
yeah.
taller. My knees are bent the whole time, and half the time my elbow is hitting my leg as I'm trying to turn
No,
the steering wheel.
I've seen it. We've ridden together, and we
I
are
know.
squished in there. I'm like, can you move your leg over a little bit? No.
Yeah, exactly. I can't steer if I move my leg over. So.
All right, well, we still got to leave some room for the kids, so I like our compromise.
Yeah.
We're going to have 2 lines.
Yeah,
One side
it's
has
already
some
set
bigger
up
cars.
that way. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's an
just
easy fix.
One side has
Easy fix.
some larger cars. That's a really funny one that you want to see updated.
Some little, but I think it'd be worth it.
It's not that
They
little.
did it with the Astro Orbiter.
Yeah, but you haven't ridden
I
it
haven't
since
ridden
it
it yet,
reopened.
but
You don't
I-
actually know if
I don't
that's...
actually know.
We'll have to do it next time we're there.
Yay.
Rick does not like that one.
I again just didn't like it because it was cramped.
Yeah.
I like the ride itself. Just was
Well,
too
there's
cramped.
enough room for your legs in that one. There's just not enough room for 2 adults' legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 adult's legs is fine on that one. Roughly. It's still a little squished.
It's still a little squished, but
Still
it's a little
bit
better.
All right, I got a few listener ones. We won't do too many because it is, we're pushing it on time. But I got some fun ones here. These are all rides, remember.
Okay.
A few people think that Figment needs to be updated. Journey into Imagination.
Did anybody give a reasoning?
No.
Interesting.
Actually, no one really gave reasons for anything for the most part. There's a few, but they're all like one word reasonings.
Okay. Well, what do you suspect people would want changed about Figment besides the ride itself? Because I have a feeling some of them just want Figment gone.
I think some people just want Figment gone. It also is like even the references in that ride are pretty old. It could benefit from it. Like it's referencing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's referencing Flubber,
Which are good movies.
fantastic movies. It's like outdated for children. It's referencing the computer wore tennis shoes. Do you even know that movie?
No.
It's from when Kurt Russell was a teenager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think
no
he's in
idea.
his 60s or 70s now at this point. So it does have some old references in it that could be updated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess they could do more with like Figment moving around in the space.
Like technology-wise,
projections and
probably.
stuff.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably could do a lot now. But again, that's one of those like nostalgia ones where I like the old technology.
And there's a following of Figment lovers, so you're not really going to be changing too much about that one anytime soon, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. But they might be. I mean, they could.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Okay, the most commonly said roller coaster was Space Mountain.
Okay, I can see that.
Some
At
people,
least upgrading the cars.
I was going to say, someone just said it's so much smoother at Disneyland. So that shows that it is possible for it to be smoother.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think my only, well, I mean, besides the fact that I don't like dark roller coasters, my only issue with Space Mountain is just the fact that you're so close together
Yeah.
for the whole ride. And I get it to some extent, but I think you could make the car a little bigger for people to fit into.
You're too tall for that one too?
No, not it's not too
What do you
tall.
mean by too close together?
Like the fact that you sit in the car and then your legs go around the person in front of you. Like I feel like we can all just have our own seat, you know?
I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of like the setup of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I like the toboggan style.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Space Mountain in the first place, so there's a lot of things I would change, but
because we've done the side by side in Disneyland, and I prefer the toboggan style.
Yeah.
I also like the way it kind of like cracks my back a little bit.
That's fair.
Yeah, the one time my back literally was like, and I was, oh my gosh, I panicked. I panicked because it was like I had sat in the back and I was like real relaxed, like zoned out as we were going up, I think.
Okay.
And then as soon as it went over, my back just like shattered. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Am I dead?
Yeah, that was exactly how I felt. I felt so good though after.
Yeah, that one I can see as well though, because it goes back to the thing I said about Epcot all the time at this point, is that it does feel not as futuristic now as it probably did when it 1st opened.
Well, speaking of Epcot, we also had Spaceship Earth said a few times.
Yeah, that one I was back and forth on if I wanted to say that for my list. And I decided not to because it's a timeline. So I didn't feel as though it needed to be upgraded because there's also really nowhere to put new stuff. If there was like a space available where they could put new stuff and like go beyond, what's the last thing they go to? It's space, right?
Well,
With
it's
the TV, the people sitting around the TV.
No, and then what's his name's in his garage.
Oh, Steve Jobs.
I actually don't know who that's supposed to be. So I'm just going to stick with what's his name and feel really uneducated for the next hour till it hits me or till I Google it.
Okay.
But I think they're working on internet in the garage. Steve Jobs is Apple.
Yeah, I thought it was him. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Okay, so this actually says, I don't feel as stupid now that I read this. While many speculate the figure is either Steve Jobs or Steve Wozniak, Disney has stated the character is a tribute to everyone working in garages and kitchens to create the first home computers.
Gotcha. So it's no one in particular.
It's nobody in particular. So I don't feel as dumb now.
Yeah, so if there was room after that room to add some newer stuff, I would say it should be done, but I don't think there is.
Okay.
And I don't think you're going to do it on the way down because you have the fun little screen thing, unless you want to update that.
That could be updated.
Yeah.
Disney did plan on updating it. And then with all of the closures and everything in 2020, they canceled it and decided not to. They, at the time, just said they were postponing it, but then they just never did it.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to see what their plan was.
Yeah, that'd be cool if that like came out.
Yeah, like here's what we were going to do. I know they
Yeah.
kind of hinted at some of it, but like they didn't give as much as everything as they could have, obviously. Yeah. So that would be interesting.
I agree.
The most surprising one that I got.
Okay.
And this person did give a reason.
Okay, good.
Flight of Passage.
What was the reason?
They said that they think that the images are actually kind of blurry now, and that like the animation could use some updating.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they would do well with upgrading the screen a little bit.
There are some scenes where it takes my eyes a second to adjust with the glasses.
I agree. I was just assumed that my eyes were going bad.
I think
didn't
it's
think that
the
was part of the
scenes.
ride. I didn't know there was other people in the same boat as me.
Like that one where you're stopped and you're sitting still and the
Yeah.
thing starts coming down. Like
Yeah.
my eyes take a second every time with that
Oh,
one.
okay. I thought it was just me.
No. And we both have 20/20, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get sure screen upgrade. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Or video upgrade. It could be the
Yeah.
actual animations
Yeah.
themselves.
Also, that one goes back to what I said about Indiana Jones. There's a new movie out now, and there's going to be another new movie. You could add more plot stuff into the.
Well, they're supposed to
ride.
be doing another Avatar Land over on the West Coast, and I'm wondering if they're going to use stuff from the new movie.
The Way of Water.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they're going to use some stuff from that.
I always think when I'm saying The Way of Water that I'm actually talking about Moana.
It's the Journey of Water.
Journey of Water.
Okay, the last one that we're going to do, we can kind of combine a few people here. Somebody said the dark rides, I love them, but they could be updated. As in like Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World. Someone did specify It's a Small World, and they said because they want the Disneyland Easter eggs.
With like the characters?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool update for them to add in there. And I think that just saying the dark rides as a whole, I think that there's a lot of room for that in a lot of the dark rides, especially with how many of them, like when you think about Pirates, Haunted Mansion, someone said Haunted Mansion as well, like they have movies now based off those rides. They could kind of incorporate some Easter eggs from their specific movies.
Yeah.
And then they do have the ability with like It's a Small World to incorporate all of movies from all over. So
Yeah, I would love if they put more of the Pirates movies into the Pirates ride.
yeah, who do you want to see? I want to see the Jar of Dirt.
The Jar of Dirt would be cool. I really like At World's End. I think it's a really good movie, so I think it'd be cool to see like the what is it? Typhoon, is that what it's called, or monsoon?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched that one.
Maelstrom, that's what it's called. It's like
Like
when
the boat?
when the boat. No, like Maelstrom, like the big sea like storm, and the boats are like going around in a circle.
In like the cyclone?
Yeah.
Okay. That's called a
believe it's
Maelstrom?
Maelstrom, yeah.
Okay. Like the ride that used to be in the
Yeah.
Norway Pavilion?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm like, my brain is going a mile a minute right now, but cool.
But there's a lot of cool stuff they could do. So yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of rides that could be updated and upgraded, as our listeners agree.
Yep.
And we managed to only pick 3 of them. So that's 3. Did you have a ride?
I did have a ride. I had 2 rides.
Yeah, you tried 4 then. We picked 4. Not bad though. I feel like we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, you can go ahead and leave us some stars. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you can leave us comments if you want on Spotify and YouTube. We love it when you do that. Thank you. You can follow us on social media. We are at Back to the Magic Podcast on TikTok and on Instagram. But thanks so much for hanging out with us on Back to the Magic. We'll be back soon with some more Disney and Universal fun and tips.
Until then, here's to always finding your way back to the magic.